Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
So the mask mandate has come to my county, Martin County, Florida. I will not be complying with that. I'm not anti-mask. I just want to be crystal clear. I'm not. I'll go into the show. I respect private businesses. I certainly don't want to get anybody sick. I'm anti-tyranny and I'm anti-stupidity. It's a pretty sound platform. Anti-tyranny and anti-stupidity. If I was ever going to run for office again, that would be my campaign sign. Don't support tyranny and definitely fight stupidity wherever you find it. Loaded show today. Today brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your online data today from those prying eyes. Get a VPN now. Don't wait. Go to expressvpn.com/Bongino. Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. Producer Joe, how are you today after our little break and a nice show back yesterday? Appreciate all your fine inputs as always.
How about that? I'm doing well. Nice and relaxed today. I remember how to do this stuff again. Took a refresher.
Yesterday was. I know. I agree. Yesterday, getting back on the show timeline and going a little longer. I agree. It was kind of like we had to get back. But yesterday, they came back. The audience came back with a vengeance. We love it. All right, loaded show today. Supreme Court decision came down a little while ago. So a lot to talk about. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Omax. Listen, living life in pain is the worst. Believe me, I know a lot about that with arthritis. It can affect your mood, energy levels, and your daily well-being. Many of my listeners probably have some type of pain that's prevented you from relaxing, sleeping, or exercising, or just being active. Whether it's arthritis like me, foot pain, or aching joints, I can relate. It's no secret I'm a huge fan of cryo-free CBD roll-on. This stuff is money. We love it. This is excellent. We love this stuff. Paula uses it on her neck. I use it on my shoulders. I use it on my hip, and now I use it on my knee too. It's a non-prescription triple-action pain relief roll-on. Looks like a deodorant. You roll it on, and that ice-cold chill in the joints hit. Pain relief is just moments away. I use it religiously. Now you're going to want to listen because Omax released a new product. Cryo-Freeze Foot Relief Spray. This product's going to blow your mind. It's ideal for reviving tired feet and legs after physical training, stress at work, or a long day on the course out there. This foot spray incorporates hemp-derived CBD and added botanicals such as peppermint, rosemary, tea tree, and aloe that quickly cools, rejuvenates, and revives hot and inflamed legs and feet. You instantly feel a soothing and refreshing sensation. Check this out, just like the roll-on. There's zero THC and no high. If you've been anxious to try Omax CryoFreeze but haven't yet, now's the time. Omax is offering my listeners an exclusive 20% off discount on their CryoFreeze CBD Recovery Bundle. This is a curated collection of my personal favorite products, including the CBD Pain Relief Roll-On. Really good stuff. Their Sports Recovery Cream, Rapid Relief CBD Drops, and the new Foot Relief Spray. Just go to Omax, OMAXHealth.com/Dan. Get 20% off this exclusive bundle, only available for my listeners. That's OmaxHealth.com/Dan to get 20% off the CryoFreeze CBD Ultimate Recovery Bundle. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Try all my favorite CryoFreeze products today. Check it out. All right, Joe, let's go.
Ding, ding, ding.
Joe had to warn me there was going to be a verbal ding, ding, ding because we had a total technical meltdown on the mechanical ding, ding, ding boxing match. So let's get into this serious topic today. So yes, last night, I'm doing my regular appearance on the Sean Hannity show at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Encourage you all to watch it. And afterwards, I come downstairs and Paula tells me, I walk out of the studio. She says, hey, I've got bad news for you. I'm Martin County, Florida, which is where I reside. Some of you know that. If you don't, you know now. The Martin County commissioners, and they were allegedly, many of them conservatives and care about, business and freedom and that stuff. They decided it'd be a good idea to pass a mask mandate. A mask mandate, yes. In public, keep in mind, it's Martin County, Florida. It's South Florida, where it's 97 degrees on Christmas Day. The mask mandate includes absurdities such as wearing masks outside in public. Yes, like things like on the beach and stuff, because that's a high transmission area. So here's the local newspaper, the TC Palm, Joshua Solomon. Face mask requirement gets the okay in Martin County. Enforcement fines range from $50 to $250. Well, the reason I'm talking about this is not just an issue for me locally. It's an issue I've been talking about for well over a few months now, but this is happening all over the country. They have no authority to do this. These people are just fabricating new tyrannical powers, drunk on their own power. Now, let me be clear so I set the appropriate parameters of where and why I believe what I believe. I am not anti-mask. I mean that. If you are a private business and you feel like it would make your customers in your business you worked hard to build uncomfortable by people not wearing masks and you want to put a sign on the door, we'd really appreciate you wearing a mask. We're not going to allow people in without it. That's your business. I'm a free marketeer. I believe in freedom. People may complain. That's your call. That's your business. I have my own home. We run a business. I do not ask people to wear a mask in my house. That's my choice. That's my choice. I understand. It's my choice. I'm taking on that risk, and I understand that. I'm a big boy. I can make my own calls, and so can my wife. Having said that, I also understand other people own homes and businesses as well. If you go in someone's home, they happen to be high risk. They're not high risk. Doesn't matter to me. And they say, Dan, I'd really be more comfortable if you put a mask on. I keep one with me. No problem at all. I've actually gotten used to it. I do not need power-drunk pseudo-monarchs, little mini tyrants in my supposedly conservative county, though, sending out ridiculous, childlike amateur hour edicts demanding people wear masks in situations where the risk of transmission is somewhat close to zero. You can take your mask mandate and shove it right up your ass. You understand? Because I will not comply. I will use my own adult, mature 45-year-old judgment. Now, some of you can debate the mature, but that's okay. But I will use my own judgment to determine when and where to wear a mask so that I don't infect someone else. God forbid I was an asymptomatic spreader, and that I don't make people uncomfortable. We are all big boys here, and we'll figure it out. So the Martin County Commissioners, Ed Campy, Doug Smith, Stacey Hurd, or Sarah Hurd, Stacey Hetherington, and Harold Jenkins, I will now actively be recruiting people to run against you. We don't have to win, by the way. That's okay. But as my very intelligent wife, Paula, said this morning, it's not about winning in these races. Believe me, we ran for office and lost, but we are making far more of a difference now. It's not always about winning. I will be actively looking into people and supporting people. I shouldn't say recruit. I'm not a candidate recruit, but I will be actively supporting people who run against these people. All of them. Every one of them. We don't have to win. We just have to take a stand. Haven't I said that on this show for 5 years now? It's not about the end result. You can't predict the end result. All you can do is fight and do everything in your power to leave it all in the ring. If you win the match, great. If you lose the match, that's sad. But you can go to the pearly gates and stare the Almighty in the eye and say, you gave it your best shot. There was nothing more left you can do. Every ounce of sweat, every ounce of energy you had was left in that ring. The outcome wasn't what you expected, but it's no excuse to ever give up. It's the fight that matters, not the end result. And these county commissioners here, believe me, they don't want to be that guy. No one wants to be embarrassed. No one wants to have well-funded opponents running against them. And no one wants to be exposed for the fraud they are. And I encourage you locally to take the same approach. Again, I'm not anti-mask, folks. I'm not at all. I understand some people feel uncomfortable. They're older. They're at risk. I'm not here to make some kind of statement at the expense of your health, but I am here to make a statement in defense of liberty and freedom and treating people like adults. And if we fold and bend the knee to these government-wide ridiculous edicts like wearing a mask on a 100-degree beach in the middle of Martin County, then what's next? What's next? A mandate to eat broccoli? Why not? Oh, Dan, that's ridiculous. Is it? We get more heart attacks every year from people who are obese and don't take care of their nutrition habits. That takes up hospital beds, takes up Medicaid and Medicare dollars. Why isn't that fair? No, folks. No more donuts. You got to eat broccoli. You know why? Because freedom and liberty require responsibility. And sometimes people act irresponsibly, but that's the price you pay to have big R God-given rights and be free, is that freedom affects other people too, and some of them don't handle it the right way. Some of them choose to act in ways that are detrimental to society, but that's the price of freedom. You have to make a choice. Are you free? Are you a free man and a free woman? Or are you a subjugated sucker for government bureaucrats who don't give a damn about you and are intoxicated on their own power? Your choice. It's not an easy one. Freedom and liberty are great campaign slogans if you don't believe in it, But when you really believe in it and you have to get to the subtext to it, yeah, difficult questions come up. I'm on the side of freedom and liberty, even when the questions are difficult. Well, Dan, if we don't order everyone like the tyrants we are, there will be people who disobey the mandate and may get other people sick. Unfortunately, yes. And let me tell you something. Even with your stupid mask mandate, even with your mask mandate that you can take and shove, even with your mask mandate, people will still get other people sick while you took away and whittled away another little bit of their freedom. I am not kidding. I sat in a church, many of you know where it is, in my church, 3 weeks ago, Paula? And watched a guy with a mask on take his mask off to sneeze on everyone. I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. Did he violate the mask mandate? What are you going to do? Arrest him? What does he get? The death penalty? These are dumb rules. You have to wear a mask in a restaurant? Did you happen to notice you have an oral orifice where the food goes in? Did that not occur to you? Mask down, food in. You want to the side view? Food. This is idiocy. These Martin County commissioners and commissioners all over the country, county folks, the mayors, the governor of Texas, I don't care. These are Republican, Abbott. These are dumb. People should act like adults. If you're going into a crowded business and they have a mask, put a mask on. If not, go to a different business if you don't like it. You're in an older person's house. You think you may be ill? Don't go in their house. That's irresponsible. They want you to wear a mask. What are you going to do? Deck them? Put a mask on. But these are what responsible free men and women do. Like adults. Be treated like kids by a bunch of fraud politicians. I moved to this place years ago. And by the way, for some of the, we do a lot for this. I'm not going to go into my resume of what we do, but we do a lot here. Give a lot of money to a lot of people who for a lot of good causes here. I love this place. Don't make me leave because you decided to move in with your big government liberal ideas and you destroyed this place I moved to get away from it. We can't escape these people. They follow you everywhere. And the worst part about it is these people pretend to be Republicans. I will use my own judgment. I am a free, responsible adult. I will not comply with a ridiculous edict that will do nothing for my health or anyone else's, like wearing a mask in the middle of an uncrowded beach in the middle of a 100-degree day in South Florida. That is absurd. As I said, anyone willing to run against these 5 commissioners, you know where I am. I will not comply with your ridiculous mandate. You know where I live, so does everyone else involved in this. You know exactly where my house is. You know where to find me. You can issue your tickets and I will pay them. I will not comply. I will be responsible. I will do what responsible free adults do. I will make people around me comfortable if that makes them comfortable. I'm not looking to hurt anybody's feelings or anybody's business. And boycotting local businesses, by the way, is silly to do that. It's not their fault. Don't say I'm boycotting businesses because the county made me wear a mask. That's just silly. It's not their fault. Many of them disagree with this too. Primary these people and vote them all out of office. And even if you lose that primary, believe me, as Paula said to me this morning, every single one of those politicians, nobody wants to be that guy that got primaried. No one. Even when they win. They're going to have to start raising money. They're going to have to do crazy things. Crazy things, Joe, like campaigning again and listening to actual people in their district because they haven't had opponents in forever. You know, people, constituents, you've heard of those things? You know, like where you knock on a door and say, hey, can I get your vote? I'm running for county commissioner. Wait, are you the guy who voted for the face diaper edict? Yeah, you can take that, like I said. And no, thanks. I'll be voting for not you. Not you. Who's not me? I don't know. Whoever's not you, I'll be voting for. I know my guy is. I met him once. Seemed like a decent enough guy. Yeah, you blew it. Picked on the wrong dude. We're in charge. It's our county. You're in charge? You sure you're in charge? We speak to 500,000 people a day. You really sure you're in charge? We speak to more people in a day than you'll speak to in your lifetime. That's not some egomaniacal power trip on my end either. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And we stand up too for people. We've done this before, by the way. It's not like this magically hit home because it's my county. We still have to go get our tattoo in North Carolina from Jax, who stood up there. We have other business owners we plan on helping too. So don't you dare come back with this. Oh, what? It's just talking to libs here, not my regular listeners. Just mad because it affected you. No. We've been in this fight for a long time. And it's not just affecting me. It's affecting the whole country. And I'm done with it. I will not comply. You've been warned. Send the tickets to my house. I'm more than happy to pay. The wazoo, wherever that wazoo is, you're going to find out shortly because that's where your mask mandate's going. Speaking of which, Drew, by the way, thinks it's hilarious, who does our video production afterwards, the wazoo, because no one can figure out where the wazoo is. Stick it up the wazoo. Where is the wazoo?
Wazoo.
No, we can only guess where the wazoo is.
The grand wazoo. Yeah.
There's a grand wazoo, too? No one even knows where the wazoo is. The grand wazoo, that's big. That's a step above. I know. I need to take a little bit of a comic relief moment in the middle of the show because I'm genuinely upset about this, and I don't want to lose it here. All right, moving on. So again, this is why I'm upset about this whole thing too. Not just the mask mandate, but all of this stuff seems to be based on questionable science at best. Now, there is some science behind masks. There's some science saying also that against masks, saying people touch their face more often. I'm open to it. Like I said, if it makes you comfortable, whatever. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. Fine. But the science on this has been all over the place from the start, which says it's not really science at all. President Trump decided yesterday to leave the WHO, the World Health Organization. Yes, thank God, and I am not using the Lord's name in vain. This is what I love about this president. Why are we a member of this garbage organization that does not all, but a lot of garbage things? Why? Why are we a member of this place? Now, hat tip Peter Hassan at the Daily Caller. I found this on his Twitter feed. He did a great job here. So President Trump's like, WHO, World Health Organization, after your catastrophic, deadly missteps on the Wuhan, China virus, we're going to take a hard pass on the WHO. Nice work. So Pete Hassan had this, showing you how the WHO has been wrong on just about every critical junction here when it comes to the Wuhan virus from China. Let's go to headline number one, the WHO's Twitter feed. Again, hat tip Pete Hassan. You can check these out yourself on his Twitter feed, which is quite good. Number one, WHO. This is their own Twitter feed, folks. Fact. COVID-19 is not airborne. Keep in mind, this is from the World Health Organization, so please don't take this advice I'm saying. This is the WHO, which means don't take their advice at this point because they've been wrong on this. It says, fact, COVID-19 is not airborne. The coronavirus is mainly transmitted through droplets generated when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or speaks. To protect yourself, keep 1 millimeter distance from others, disinfect surfaces, wash, blah, blah, blah. So this is the WHO, folks. It's a fact. This is not airborne. Let's go to the headline from one of the news outlets. Flip over to number 2 here. So fact, the WHO says it's not airborne. NBC News, WHO acknowledges emerging evidence of airborne spread of COVID-19. There it is, right there. NBC, WHO. What do we listen to, Joe? The WHO or the WHO? WHO, fact, it's not airborne. WHO, there's a lot of evidence it's airborne. Do not listen to these people, folks. I get it. We'll be demonetized for this. We're always demonetized anyway. I'm just telling you, I'm pointing out their own misinformation. Listen to medical professionals you trust, not the medical professionals who give you advice that contradicts their own advice. It's not airborne. Don't worry. It's airborne. Start worrying. We'll be demonetized for this. We always are. That's okay. Pointing out the inaccuracies of others' information apparently is a grave free speech sin here. You say, oh, it's an easy mistake, Dan. WHO. It's not airborne. WHO. It's airborne. Let's go to number 2. Here's another WHO winner here. These guys are always on target over there. WHO Twitter feed. Preliminary investigations conducted by the Chinese authorities have found no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the novel coronavirus identified in Wuhan, China. So first, the WHO said, nah, don't worry, it's not airborne. Then they said, maybe airborne. Then they say, hey, don't worry. China's investigated it, so you know it's legit. Don't worry, Joe.
Feel better now.
China investigated. Don't worry at all, buddy. They said no human-to-human transmission. So just to be clear, that's their medical advice. And if you call them out, you're deplatformed, not the WHO. You're deplatformed for calling. So let's just go to the news headline again about human-to-human transmission that the WHO medical authorities told us no worries here at all. Let's check that out. What did the news headlines say about that? China confirms human-to-human transmission of coronavirus. The Guardian. Crazy. Joe, we're the ones who will be demonetized and deplatformed for this. God forbid we call out the WHO, the medical professionals, and their information. We'll be the ones accused of misinformation. We're just giving you their headlines. I'm adding nothing to it. I'm just giving you their stuff. I didn't write this. It's on Bongino.com. This is media outlets and the WHO contradicting the WHO. You may say, surely there's not more. So they got the airborne part wrong, the human-to-human transmission part wrong. That seems like a lot. No, there's always more when it comes to the WHO. Let's check out the next one. Look at this little gemski. WHO, when to use a mask. If you are healthy, you only need to wear a mask if you are taking care of a person with suspected coronavirus infection. Wear a mask if you're coughing or sneezing. That's the WHO. Wait. I live in Martin County. They just told us you have to wear a mask on a beach when it's 10,000 degrees and get a face diaper tan line. Even when there's nobody around you. They just told us. So here's the Martin County Commission. Yeah, here we go. In case you think I'm making this up. The WHO just said, no, don't worry. Unless you're infected or taking care of someone, WHO, their tweet. Don't you worry about a mask. Martin County geniuses. Here we go. No, you got to wear it at indoor places, businesses, outdoor public places, businesses, restaurants, and food service establishments. That's great. You're going to just jam the food right through the mask and eat the mask too. You're going to have like a hairball of mask. You're going to have to crap out eventually. That's going to be painful. You have to dig through it for the mask. How's that going to work? You ever have your dog eat something? You got to wash that up. You know how that works? We're going to start doing that with humans. I ran out of masks. Just dig it out of the toilet bowl. How's that going to work? Are we following the WHO advice or are we not? Let's see the other news headline on that because it always gets better. WHO changes COVID-19 mask guidance. Wear one if you can't keep your distance. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I'm having a hard time keeping track here, buddy. I don't know. Is it human to human? Is it airborne? Are we wearing masks or are we not? Or it depends. It depends on what day you read the WHO Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And remember, former Vice President Biden, who doesn't even know what day it is, he has to open like a calendar every day and start Xing off boxes, right? Joe Biden saying, no, we're President Trump leaving the WHO. If I'm elected president, we are right back in the WHO. Oh, that's great because they've been so on point about everything. Is there another one to this? Okay, good. I'm honestly, because I know Hassan had more, and I'm not even sure how many I sent Paula. There's more of these, folks, but in the interest of time, I can't point out any more WHO misinformation, which, by the way, I'm absolutely sure will be demonetized over, because God forbid you tell people the truth. And what's the truth? The truth is this. Be skeptical of information you get because the information is contradictory. And when information from the WHO contradicts prior information from the WHO, both bits of information cannot be correct. I thought that was tautological and common sense. It's not, though. The tech tyrants, I'm sure, will again demonetize us because, God forbid, you challenge the genius and wisdom of the WHO, who challenges the WHO often. Yes, the WHO challenges the WHO. But the geniuses in Martin County know better and all over the country. Wear a mask in a restaurant. Just eat right through it. Don't you worry. Cut a hole in it. Cut a hole in it like a face. Do we have a mask on here? Okay. Let's Joe, how's this going to work? Let me see.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's rough on the gums. That's awful. Yeah.
How's it going to work? How does this work? You have food over there? How are we going to do it? Is this? How do we do it? Is it like a blowhole? Like a dolphin? That's the blowhole on top of it. Hold on. Oh, you got to cover. Oh, no, I messed up. You got to cover the nose. Wrong. Here, you got to cover the nose. So
There you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you got over the nose. You got the wrong.
No, it don't work.
It doesn't work. We're dealing with stupidity. Grown adults mandating people do really dumb things. Then we had one of these county commissioners. He's like, I don't really trust anyone, but I trust the health authorities. Yeah, I used to do that too until I was told contradictory information by just about everyone. Now I ask my doctor friend for advice, and I do common sense things. Like when I come home, I wash my hands, and if I'm around someone who looks sick, you know what I do, Joe? I quickly get not around them.
Right.
Crazy tips like that always seem to work, whether it's the flu, the norovirus, or the COVID-19. It's probably not a good idea to get up in someone's grill and start screaming, like at protests and stuff. No, virus doesn't go to protests. Not if it's a liberal protest. We've been told that. You can yell in people's face and spew droplets all over, but the virus is an artificially intelligible. It will not affect you at a liberal protest, according to the health authorities. Idiots. We are dealing with morons. Morons drunk on their own power. It is grotesque. And that's why they hate Trump. That is why they will always hate Trump. And that's why I will vote for this guy no matter what. You know why? Because he is the only thing standing between you and these morons. Listen, folks, he makes a lot of mistakes. I've told the campaign that. I'm not here to worship any golden calf. Candidly, I've told the president that too. But I love this guy because he's the freaking bull in the china shop we all needed. The china was all broken anyway. And he came in and made them restock full of actual china you can sell because he came in and busted the whole place up. And that's why they hate him for it. This is the only guy standing between you and this mob of morons. Speaking of morons, I'm going to get to Andrew Cuomo next. Drew always loves my segues after the show. Unintentional. You know Andrew Cuomo. Brother of the other moron on CNN, Chris Cuomo. Yeah. Cuomo had a commission. The Cuomo had a little commission to evaluate Cuomo's actions, and the Cuomo Commission said Cuomo didn't do anything wrong. Don't worry. Just like the WHO said China didn't do anything. Cuomo Commission said Cuomo did nothing wrong. We'll cover that in a second. I'm going to do a commission. A Dan Bongino's a genius commission. Dan Bongino commission. Dan Bongino's a genius. Who said Dan Bongino says his commission? This is just great how this works, isn't it?
Yes.
I didn't even sleep good last night. I was up all night. All night. I had to take one of those liquid IV sleep things. I couldn't sleep. I was so furious about this stupid mask mandate. I got like 5 hours sleep. That's why I'm so fired up today. All right, today's show also brought to you by our friends at Policy Genius. Listen, shopping for life insurance can raise a lot of questions. How much coverage you need? Which insurance company is the best for you? How much should it cost? And at a time when it's more important than ever to have life insurance, the pandemic is making it a little more complicated to shop for it. That's where our friends at Policy Genius can help. As a life insurance marketplace backed by a team of experts, Policy Genius is keeping track of all the changes in the market so you don't have to. They'll find you the right amount of coverage at the best possible price without the headache. Policy Genius compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place. It takes just a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. This doesn't just save you a lot of legwork. You could save $1,500 a year or more by using Policy Genius to compare life insurance policies. It's super easy to use, too. We get a lot of good feedback about Policy Genius, a lot. Once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. So if you hit any speed bumps during the application process, they'll be there to take care of everything. So if you need life insurance, but you're not sure where to start, head to PolicyGenius.com. PolicyGenius.com will find you the best rate and handle the process completely. They'll get you and your family protected and hopefully give you one less thing to worry about. Try it today. PolicyGenius.com. PolicyGenius.com. Don't forget PolicyGenius.com. Check it out. All right. So again, speaking of imbeciles, Andrew Cuomo always seems to reintroduce, but he is, out of all the bad governors in the country, and there are a lot of them, Cuomo ranks up there. Top 2 or 3. Definitely not out of the top 5. Some days number 1. So Cuomo decided after his dreadful nursing home edict, remember that we've covered on the show? Andrew Cuomo and his Department of Health thought it'd be a great idea, Joe, to send people infected with the coronavirus into nursing homes where you have people who are elderly and are the most susceptible. And not only that, to ban them from not accepting people with coronavirus into nursing homes, which promptly killed, sadly, tragically, a number of people. So after some heat by the public, because the whole people dying thing tends to really bother people who love those people who died, understandably so. Cuomo said, don't you worry, we're going to have a little commission. I'll make sure this commission gets to the bottom of this. Gets to the bottom of what? Your decisions? Just checking. So it's like the Cuomo Commission. So the Cuomo Commission came back about Cuomo's actions and said, don't worry about Cuomo. He didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't actually the infected people who were sent into nursing homes and infected other people who subsequently died, Joe. Nope. Don't worry, Joe. The Cuomo Commission, according to the Buffalo News, said, it's a Cuomo agency. It sounds more official. The Cuomo agency report, Cuomo policy not to blame for nursing home deaths by Tom Precious, Buffalo News. Tommy P says, don't you worry. Cuomo's agency, not the committee. It sounds more formal. The Cuomo agency said, it wasn't him, Joe. Sending sick people into nursing homes where other people got sick, that didn't have anything to do with it.
No.
They said, you know who did? Did I already tell you who? Did I say the answer yet? What?
Oh.
No, I didn't. Okay. I'm wondering if sometimes I bury the lead. Sometimes I get the lead out and forgot I said it. Joe, get ready. Here's who he says that it was the visitors who did it, not the actual sick people. The visitors killed all those people and brought it.
That's right.
Amazing. From the Buffalo News piece. Now, they said the visitors did it. They bring them in. It wasn't the actual sick people. So here's their justification. Here's from the Buffalo News. There was, quote, a high likelihood that COVID positive visitors came to nursing homes. Though the report says, Joe, this is just a classic here. The Cuomo report about Cuomo saying Cuomo did nothing wrong. The report says from the Cuomo agency that although they're pretty sure the visitors did it, there's no specific data to support this assumption. And so ultimately, this is inconclusive.
Dude.
So just to be clear, the Cuomo agency said Cuomo sending actual sick people under penalty of law into nursing homes where other people got sick and died. They didn't get other people sick. It was definitely visitors. And we have so much information that it's an assumption that's totally inconclusive. Got it. Thank you. Good job. Well done, Cuomo agency. You really, by the way, I hate the expression, let's get to the bottom of it. Can we wipe that clean from the English language? But in this case, well done. You got to the bottom of that one. Very nice job, Cuomo agency, commission, whatever you are. Wasn't the sick people, Joe. It was the people they didn't know were sick. They assume was sick, and they have no data, and it's inconclusive, but the actual sick people didn't do it. The verdict is in. Nice job, Andrew Cuomo. Definitely run for president next time. Well done. What a moron. What an idiot. On a very serious note, Janice Dean, who's a great person at Fox News, great person. Many of you know her. She does weather. She does a lot of great stuff. She writes a series of children's books that are very good. And anybody who works at Fox, I'm sure I'm allowed to say this, so whatever, but anyone who works at Fox will tell you Janice Dean is just the nicest human being you will ever meet. Like when you see her on TV and she's always smiling, that's Janice. That's not like some act. She doesn't like play it up for TV. That's Janice. She's just the nicest person ever. She doesn't get political about stuff. She's not there to do that. But she lost 2 of her in-laws in these nursing homes. This isn't some joke. It's not funny. Sometimes we use sarcasm to kind of get away from the horrors of the day. But this is not some joke. It's nothing. This is deadly serious. People died. Janice Dean and others deserve answers here. And they deserve answers from serious people, not the Cuomo agency that said, oh, don't worry about Cuomo. Won't blame him. It wasn't him sending sick people to infect other sick people into the nursing homes. No, it was the visitors. But the data doesn't really say that, and we're just assuming it, and it's inconclusive. Nah, that ain't good enough. We're not having any of that. All right. That was a rather long coronavirus segment today and partially unintended. I just, don't underestimate me. When something gets under my skin, like the Drudge Report or bad politicians, I'm a doer, man. Or Twitter. I go out and do stuff. Doesn't always work out, but I've spoken publicly many times and I say the do matters. Action matters. Talk is cheap. Everybody's got a plan. Enact it. Everybody's got a plan. Everybody's got an idea. Great. Terrific. Good for you. Ideas are a good thing. They're also meaningless if you don't actually put the shoe leather to the ground and get something done. And I'm going to be doing that locally now because you picked on the wrong guy. We're in charge. We're in power. You really sure about that? We'll see about that. I live here too. All right, moving on. So, cancel culture, has exploded, taken on a life of its own. You know what cancel culture is? Sometimes I talk about that. I'm not sure the audience gets it. Cancel culture is this. Let's find anyone who's a conservative, Republican, libertarian, or even a liberal who disagrees with liberal orthodoxy. And let's find something in their past we don't like, which, ladies and gentlemen, we all got. And let's make sure they are canceled from public life. What does cancel mean? It means get them fired from their job, humiliate them, pile on them on Twitter, make sure their kids are shunned from any public space, make sure they're kicked out of schools, make sure they're covered on CNN like the Covington kids so that their whole lives are ruined. That kind of thing. That's cancel culture. Now, keep in mind, the rules don't apply evenly in cancel culture. I hope you understand this. As we can see by this legal insurrection piece, which is a good one, it'll be up in the show notes. By our show notes, by the way, again, bongino.com/newsletter. You can subscribe to the show notes. Just an email we send out once a day. The newsletter, the show notes, it's the same thing. But these are good articles, and I recommend you subscribe. Legal insurrection. Liberal and leftist writers condemn cancel culture with obligatory anti-Trump nod. This is important, folks, because the rules of cancel culture don't apply evenly. The left, the radical, tyrannical, police state left, cancel culture obsessed left, statue destroying left, wants you to believe that cancel culture is just a set of principles, Joe. It's all about people who've done horrible things in their past who should be removed from public life. No, that's not what it's about. Because when we uncover leftists that have done really horrible things, all of a sudden the rules don't seem to apply. Now, why is this legal insurrection piece important? Because now all of a sudden conservatives have found through social media, Parler, Twitter, Facebook, and elsewhere, conservatives have found a way from social media to make sure the rules of cancel culture are applied to liberals too. And Joe, liberals don't like that. Rules.
No.
We're just trying to cancel conservatives, not us. We can say racist, horrible, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic stuff. And we're not, what do you mean cancel them? Why are we talking about canceling those guys? So now that cancel culture has started to boomerang and slam liberals right in the cojones, they don't like it. So a bunch of libs penned this letter. You can see this. Here's the end of the piece at Legal Insurrection. They penned a letter, so you have some background, at Harper's. Some of these liberals saying, hey, after they attacked Trump, of course, which is always ridiculous. And they said, hey, this liberal thing, maybe this cancel culture, maybe we need to reevaluate this. Now they're trying to cancel the liberals too. So at the end of the piece, it says this: the left is eating its own now. Joe, didn't I say it? What did I tell you? The essence of cancel culture and identity politics is cannibalistic. Keep this up. William Jacobson, great piece, Legal Insurrection. He says the left is eating its own now. How many of the signers of this letter, this letter in Harper's saying, hey, this cancel culture thing's getting a little rough. We're starting to eat liberals too. He says, how many of the signers cared when conservatives were being purged? Well, let me answer that. None. How many of them participated in those anti-conservative purges, at least indirectly? I'll answer that too. None. How many fed the cancel culture alligator hoping it wouldn't eat them? The answer, probably none. That said, it's better that even the left is realizing that the monster they created is out of control. Folks, I did a show a long time ago. It was one of our most listened to shows ever. The show was about the new rules. How, if I may point a personal privilege for the show, I was getting a lot of emails at the time. We did the show about 3 years ago. I was getting a lot of emails from listeners where I recommended we take the gloves off and start to fight a little dirty with the left. I don't mean unethically. I mean politically. I don't mean immorally. I mean the way they fight. The principles are supposedly on the left that you've said anything in your past should wipe you clean from public life and humiliate you. Then those rules apply to you too. That's not unethical. It may be a little bit politically dirty, but I said, folks, we need to take the gloves off. We're in a boxing match while we're wearing 20-ounce gloves. The opponent's bare fists, kickboxer style, with honey and glass on his hand wraps. You can't win that fight, folks. He's hitting you with glass-studded hand wraps. You're hitting him with 20-ounce gloves. You can't win. It's not a fair fight. You have to take the gloves off and start biting or something. You're never going to win that fight any other way. Some people didn't like that. Fair enough. Fair your criticism. I'm always open to criticism. They said, remember that, Joe? They write me back and they were saying, Dan, that's not right. We have to show the left. We have to show the left we're better people.
Let's not stoop
Let's
to their
not.
level.
Yes. Good call. You see, you always agree. That was the essence of almost every. Let's not stoop to their level. I respect your opinion. I'm glad you're here. I like criticism on my show, as long as it's not like stupid stuff, like when people cuss me out on the subject line, like deleted right away. I like that. I'm not kidding. I like good, fair criticism. But I'm sorry, I disagree. You will never change anything by setting one set of principles for you and another set of principles for your ideological opponents on the left. When you make them eat their own rules, when you make them swallow it whole, that hairball of garbage they call cancel culture, and you start canceling liberals, that is the only way they will stop the wholesale destruction of the republic as we know it. I'm very sorry. I will never agree with you. I'm open to your opinion. I always appreciate your feedback on the show. It means a lot to me. The show is for you. It's not for me. I can only listen once. Our hundreds of thousands of listeners are all you. But I will never agree with you. The new rules are in effect and shall remain in effect. When the liberals want to return to regular rules of order, civility, not calling us racists and transophobes and misogynists and homophobes and the whole litany of litany of istophobic, phobophobic terms based on nothing more than them trying to attack us, I'm more than happy to comply and re-engage in the rules of civility. Until then, the new rules are in effect. You will be canceled too. Hamilton needs to go. That play, that needs to go. That definitely needs to be canceled. Your rules, you're leftist. The play Hamilton? Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's a big leftist. It's his play, right? Show's based on Hamilton. Hamilton was the time of slave ownership. It's got to be canceled, folks. I'm sorry. Oh, damn, we can't cancel Hamilton. Why? Why not? Why not? We're ripping down statues. Anyone who was associated with anyone who had anything to do with slavery at all. Why is that play? Why are we allowed to make money and profiteer off people who lived in the time of slavery? Why are we allowing that? Your rules, right? It has to be canceled. I'm very sorry. Oh, Dan, that's a step too far. No, it isn't. No, it's not. It's not. That's not a step too far. The answer is, of course, it's a step too far. It's been a step too far when you attack conservatives using the same tools. You'll realize it's a step too far when that step crushes your cojones too. When you're like, ouch, that hurt. Then maybe you'll say, this is dumb. People make mistakes. I believe in redemption. Jesus Christ sat on the cross and forgave a murderer right next to him. I'll see you in heaven. What, you can't do the same? Even if you're not a Christian, what, you can't do the same? A guy tweeted something 15 years ago, off-color, stupid comment. He has to be wiped clean from public life and never be allowed to earn $1 again? Nah, not on my watch, man. Showing you again how the rules don't apply evenly here, cancel culture. Check out this little gem from the Washington Examiner. Read this piece. This is a good one. It's by Mike Gonzalez. Cancel culture will use your past to take you out, unless you're one of its own. So remember, cancel culture only applies to conservatives. You said anything in your past, off-color, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, transphobic, you are canceled forever. There will be no redemption for you ever. But but not if you're a leftist and you tweet openly racist stuff like one of the writers in the 1619 Project. Check this little gem out from the Washington Examiner. So they say, quote, another thing about our cancel culture moment is that it's supremely unfair. The creator of the New York Times deceitful 1619 Project, Nicole Hannah-Jones, was recently discovered to have written a racist screed 25 years ago. She did. In it, she said, quote, the white race is the biggest murderer, rapist, pillager, and thief of the modern world. Huh? Hannah-Jones's offering also contains such jewels as, quote, by the way, the descendants of these savage people pump drugs and guns into the black community, pack black people into the squalor of segregated urban ghettos, and continue to be bloodsuckers in our community. Clearly, you made that quote up there. No. That's Nicole Hannah-Jones of the New York Times, who she's been fired, right? Definitely. I mean, is that, if you ever, right, Joe? Definitely been fired. Oh, no. No. She's A-okay. Don't you worry. You can say overtly racist stuff at the New York Times. Don't worry. As long as you have your liberal bona fides. Only if you're a conservative who screwed up early. You are no redemption for you at all. The cancel culture societal death penalty has to occur for you. Make them live by their own rules. They want to raise their taxes? Ask them why they don't donate extra money to the federal government. I don't do that. The government will waste it. Oh, but you want me to give my money there for them to waste it. Just checking. We don't believe in school choice. You send your kid to a private school. I didn't say school choice for me, you moron. Of course I'm going to send my kid to better schools. I don't mean school choice for those people, the great unwashed deplorables. Just asking you to kind of live by your own rules, Obamacare for everyone. Yeah, but you Congress people, you have your own private operation. You get to go. I'm not talking about Obamacare for us. I'm talking about the unwashed, you dunces. Make them live by their own rules. They don't like it because they don't have rules. Just like the Martin County commissioners. By the way, I'm going to be, if I see any of them in public without a mask, I will be taking a photograph, just to be clear. Paul is living. I'm dead serious. Don't worry. I'm not going to put it on Twitter. I'm just saying I will be, for my own, I will be collecting photographs of these same, they better be wearing a mask everywhere. While you eat too. I'm just checking because you were the ones who wanted this in restaurants. Well, I want to see how you do it. How you're going to drink is going to be amazing. It's going to be a funnel. You can put a funnel in me. Like, when you change your oil, Joe, you're a big car mechanic. When you change your oil, you get the funnel, poke a hole to it. Right. Is that how it's going to, I'm just checking. Because if you take the mask off in a restaurant, I will be taking a photo. You've been warned. Okay, well, they'll take a photo of you now. It's fine. Okay. I told you I'm not going to comply. I will wear a mask when appropriate. Have you seen me in the public with a mask? You see, because I don't have a problem. I'm not an anti-mask guy. Never have been. I'm an anti-stupidity guy. Just a quick note before I get to my last sponsor. I got a lot more, folks. I got videos that are really good, so please don't go anywhere, including Ilhan Omar, who, listen to them when they talk. But the Supreme Court has upheld the religious exemption for the Little Sisters of the Poor. Important breaking news today. John Roberts, finally discovers the fact that he's not a full-blown liberal, which is astonishing. So that's good news. The Little Sisters of the Poor don't have to pay for birth control, which is finally John Roberts surgically removes his head from his rectum for once, which is good news. We like that. All right. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Quip. Listen, let's talk about brushing our teeth. 75% of us use old, worn out, crappy bristles that are ineffective. Some people forget to floss daily too. That's really bad. Good health starts with good habits. Listen, just go read the research. If you have an unhealthy mouth, you probably have an unhealthy body too. It's not good for you. Quip makes oral health easy by delivering all the essentials you need to brush and floss better. The Quip electric toothbrush. You know what? I'm going to read my own thing because I have Quip. If you don't want to pay, I get it. But I like Quip. I love the darn toothbrush. It's really, really good. I'm not kidding. You just turn the thing on. You do your routine. It's the best. The sonic vibrations, it has pulses so you know when to change each side. And it feels like your mouth is getting like a power wash. You don't even know how clean your mouth's going to be if you haven't used the Quip because you haven't used it yet. If you're using like a regular toothbrush, you think your mouth is clean. Try a Quip. Then email me afterwards. You'll be like, I get it now. Paired with Quip's anti-cavity toothpaste and mint or watermelon, you get all the ingredients teeth need. Quip has an eco-friendly refillable floss with a dispenser you keep for life, an expanding string that helps you clean in between your teeth. Quip brush heads, toothpaste, and floss refills are delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5 each. You're never going to find a better brush for them. I'm not kidding. We love these. We have like, 3 of them, 4 of them in the house now? I don't even know. They're everywhere. I have one in like every bathroom here. Even guests, you'll get a Quip when you come over. A friendly reminder when it's time to refresh. 3 million happy customers practice good oral care easily and affordably with Quip, starting at just $25. It's a power washing for your mouth. If you go to getquip.com/Dan right now, you'll get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip. That's QUIP.com/Dan. Spelled getquip, QUIP.com/Dan. Go today. Quip, the Good Habits Company. Folks, this is an important segment here. Listen to liberals when they talk. Listen to them. When liberals talk, don't discount their words. I love when I put out a Parler post and I say something like, 2020, liberal platform, infanticide, open borders, defund the police. And someone responds back, Dan, you're lying. They didn't say that. And then I post links to liberals saying that, and we don't hear from them ever again. Listen to liberals when they talk. They will always lie to you. Always, because that's what liberals do. You'll see this a lot. Liberals will say something that's the truth. Then you'll see the media realize that public backlash has occurred, and liberals will then try to massage the truth and make you believe what they said isn't what they really said. What do you mean? Well, let me give you an example. Here's a Washington Examiner piece about Colin Kaepernick. The gaslighting around Colin Kaepernick and his taking of a knee to disrespect the American flag by the media is just incredible. Kaepernick has said what he's doing, and yet the media is like, no, he's not disrespecting the country. That's not what he's all about police brutality. It is. So Quinn Hillier, piece of the Washington Examiner, Colin Kaepernick said it himself. His kneeling was meant to disrespect our nation itself. No, Quinn Hillier must be lying. Clearly, CNN and everyone else has told us not Kaepernick. He's all about police reform. Kaepernick loves the country. Police reform only. That's it. Liberals do this all the time. Just listen to what they say. Disregard and ignore the media losers who lie to you all the time, and just listen to what liberals say themselves. From Quinn Hillier's piece, here is Kaepernick's actual quote from 2016, where he states the original reason for beginning his kneeling protest. Kaepernick's words, not mine, folks. Not mine. Quote, Colin Kaepernick, I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. He said then, this was not a protest against police violence and racism that just happened to occur during the anthem. It was specifically targeted at the anthem and flag so as to blame the country as such for the ills Kaepernick was protesting. Ladies and gentlemen, just listen to the man's own words. They're not trying to fix anything. They're trying to destroy. No, they're not, Dan. Stop being dramatic. Trying to destroy the country. Oh, here's Ilhan Omar, in her own words. Again, I just quoted Colin Kaepernick. Believe them when they speak. They're not kidding. Don't believe the gaslighting later on. No, Kaepernick wasn't trying to disrespect the flag. He just said that. Ilhan Omar doesn't want to destroy anything. Come on. She loves the system we have. And she's trying to tinker around the edges. Okay, let's listen to Ilhan Omar herself.
As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate this inequality. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it.
There's her own words. We didn't add to that. Joe didn't edit it. She didn't. Joe, just to be clear, the next line of that wasn't, hey, I'm just kidding. That was all a joke, right?
No.
You didn't cut that part out? Okay, just checking. Okay, thank you.
Well,
So that her own words, you heard it yourself. Dismantling the entire system of oppression. Meaning what exactly? Free markets, the constitutional republic, respect for law. So not only does she openly support defunding the police, again, her words, she openly supports defunding the police. Openly. She supports also the destruction of the system. What system are you talking about? Is anyone going to ask her any specifics? What do you mean, like free markets? You mean you want to take my business away? What are you talking about? What system are you talking about exactly? Opening up the jails, releasing prisoners? What else are you talking about? Of course, no one will actually get her on the record about anything, and the media will just cover for her. Ilhan Omar doesn't want to destroy the system of oppression. She just said she wanted to destroy the system of oppression. What do we do now? Again, I'm sure we'll be demonetized today, specifically for citing Colin Kaepernick and Ilhan Omar's own words to you. Believe them when they speak. You don't have to believe me. Just believe them. Very frustrated today. All right, I've got some more video for you. Showing you how we live in an Orwellian nightmare right now. How, the media, how they always want to change the language. And they think they can do it just unilaterally by throwing the culture, the history, and anything out the window they don't agree with, despite the fact that, what they're throwing out may offend some people too. So what am I talking about? This is the great Thomas Elliott, at Grabian. He does a great job. Here is a supercut of the media trying to create a new language right in front of your eyes. What do I mean? The media has now determined, Joe, that the Washington Redskins shall forever be known as the Washington football team. And if anybody dares say the word Redskins, you will definitely be painted a racist from this point forward. Keep in mind, they made this decision with no public input. This happened yesterday. Here's a supercut. They're no longer the Redskins. The media has made a decision for you. Thankfully, these brilliant people in the media. Check this out.
Let's talk about this story that seems to not be going away. Washington's football team.
Well, let me start by saying I'm a Washingtonian, so I'm a lifelong fan of the Washington football team.
Today, he leaned even further into the culture wars, criticizing the Washington football team, which we will not name.
Tweeting about Bubba Wallace and the Washington football team.
Pressure mounting for the Washington football team to change its name.
Long past time for the Washington football team to change its name.
There is something happening across the country, Allison. You look at the Washington football team.
The Washington football team.
Washington football team.
Washington football team.
The Washington football team.
The Washington football team.
Now, we should say we reached out to the NFL, to Nike, to the Washington football team.
I can't wait to sing Hail to the whatever it is.
The Warriors.
Exactly. There can be so
many options.
So many options. Yeah. The bullets are off the table.
We do better when we know better. And in 2020, I think we all know that groups of people should not be mascots.
Is the microphone picking it up? The laughter coming in. I'm not sure if she needs a camera over there, Paula. We really do live in the dumbest of times. There will never be a dumber time than right now. We have reached peak stupid. Collective IQs have gone down at least 30 points just in the last few months alone. Now, as Paula brought up this morning as we were preparing for the show, which I think is a great point. Joe, how can you call it the Washington football team? Washington lived in the time of slavery. It's not Washington. That's racist. That's racist what they just said. 100% racist. By their own rules, right? So I think we should call it the District of Columbia football team. No. Wait. Joe, you may be catching something right now. I know. We can call football. That's cultural appropriation. People who are Hispanic. Oh, I just said Latinx. I'm sorry, you can't say Hispanic. Latinx, that's racist. People who are Latinx call soccer football. Us calling it definitely cultural appropriation. So I'm going to open the audience up for suggestions. Please post them on our YouTube in the comments section. I would really appreciate it. YouTube.com/Bongino. Your suggestions for what the Washington Redskins should be called, because you can't call them Washington. That's definitely racist. You can't say football, cultural appropriation. My suggestion, the District of Columbia, cylindrical, maybe round object, sports entertainment franchise. Maybe an acronym. What is that? DCCO or the DCOFSEF. The DCCOSEF. Folks, please go to my YouTube, youtube.com/Bongino. All right, it's a cheap marketing trip to get you subscribed to the channel, but at least I'm open about it. But please render your suggestions on DCOFSEF. The District of Columbia, cylindrical object sports entertainment franchise. I may offend. I may have screwed up. So maybe entertainment is that word too. I'm not sure if that's racist now either, but that'll have to suffice. And if anyone on the media calls it the Washington football team, immediately call them out for being racist. Joe, am I wrong? Am I wrong? There are rules, right?
Yeah, there are rules.
Washington, time of slavery, founding fathers. Everyone has to be canceled forever. The DCOFSEF. You like? What do you think of that, Paul? You like that? The DCOFSEF. Yeah, she's right. She's like, we should look up that there's not a word, the DCOFSEF, that we may be culturally appropriating from someone else. That would be very bad. All right, one last story today. It's a great video. Hat tip the Reagan Battalion guys on social media. So I told you yesterday, the stupidity around the crime wave is practically and honestly deadly. The people are just in the liberal media are dying to make the crime wave in America's big cities go away. Why, Joe? Because big cities are run by Democrats. Keep in mind, Armacost, if big cities were run by Republicans and there was a crime wave, it would be all over the front page of the news every day.
Of course.
They would say, Black men and women, Latin men and women are dying in inner cities run by Republicans. Because they're Democrats, there's no crime wave at all, Joe. Don't you worry. So hat tip the Reagan Battalion guys for this short video of the two morons at CNN, two of the 10 dumbest people in media, Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, brother of the Cuomo Commission that said the Cuomo Commission that Cuomo didn't do anything wrong. That guy. Yeah, the brother. It must be something in the gene code. Here are these two morons talking about the fictitious crime wave in New York, despite the body counts continuing to pile up. And at the bottom of this, I suggest you watch this on YouTube. I'll go through it. But they scroll a few headlines at the bottom there, showing you what kind of garbage nonsense this whole thing is. Check this out.
Trump's poll numbers go south. They kick in with
no position on the Confederate flag.
Yeah, Democratic cities are in chaos right now. Is this what you want from Joe Biden? And they're going to take your country away, and they're taking down the statues. And
crime is rising as they defund police.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. And they get defunding police. It's like, and the people who you saw there, for the most part, not them specifically, I'm talking about as a whole.
Hat tip again, Reagan Battalion on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You heard it on audio. At the bottom, if you missed the visuals there are a scrolling series of headlines at the bottom with these two morons talking to each other. Murders, LA, up 250%. New York City burglary spike. New York City homicide spike. Crime wave, New York City. But don't worry, folks. Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, brother of the Cuomo Commission agency that said Cuomo did nothing wrong, said there's nothing to worry about here. There's no crime wave. You're making this whole thing up, folks. As I've repeatedly stated, we are living in the dumbest of times. If you're watching CNN, you probably need to start taking fish oil immediately because your neurons and your dendrites are being pruned right now. Neurotransmitters and neurons are dying off rapidly because you're watching these two idiots every single night. And people will die because nothing will change, because no one will call the politicians who have failed these people to account. Disgusting. All right, folks, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bongino. We really appreciate it. You got us to 500,000 subscribers in like record time. We really appreciate that. But Paula puts a lot of work with Drew and Joe into the video show too. So youtube.com/Bongino. Go subscribe today. Thanks again. See you tomorrow.
You just heard Dan Bongino.